Let's play a paradiddle. Let's add the accents. Okay, so that's your basic paradiddle. But we only really need the accent on 2. Now we have a nice backbeat. Let's add the bass drum on 1. That sounds nice. Okay, so that was the first variation, the natural paradiddle, or that's just the regular paradiddle. So let's try another variation. Let's try the second variation. Be careful not to accent the first quarter note with right hand. You might be inclined to do that when you hit the bass drum. All we really need is the backbeat accent. So make sure that is louder than everything else. Each variation has a unique feel and sound to it, and this is the third variation. But there's more to that. Each variation reveals a certain scenario which would naturally happen in real-life playing. For example, in this one, the challenge is to limit the rebound from the backbeat accent in order to produce a nice and low ghost note. This difference between loud and quiet, or dynamics, will give your groove a third dimension and make it more interesting. The fourth variation is arguably the most challenging. Here we're faced with inverted double stroke. It's technically difficult to make a good clean accent right after a tap or a ghost note, as you have very little time to lift the stick up. And also, very often the other hand is in the way. This might require going back to basics and some work on the drum pad. Start slow and exaggerate lows and highs. Listen for good, solid and even sounds. That means all the taps are the same volume relative to each other, and the accent has the same volume and intensity each time. Now let's go back to the first variation. Add the kick on 2 as well. Now we have a funky disco beat. And you can go through all 4 variations playing the kick on 1 and on 2. If we play the bass drum on every 8th note like this, we get a halftime feel rock reggae groove. Very nice. Let's now try a different approach. Now we're going to play the bass drum together with the right hand, or in unison. We're going to start with the first variation. We still play the accent on 2, but no accent in the hand on 1. Again, you will be inclined to do that as you hit the bass drum. The right hand naturally wants to hit louder when there's the bass drum. I don't know why, but everybody does it. That's pretty cool, right? It's pretty funky. Let's try the second variation. Keep the bass drum light. Only the backbeat on the snare pops out. All the rest of the hits stay nice and low. Wrists are relaxed, only making a whip for the backbeat. And the third variation. It's kind of awkward to play the 2 hits in the bass drum at the very beginning of the phrase. Also, watch out for the rebound from the backbeat accent. The hit right after the backbeat should be nice and relaxed. You can achieve that by limiting how much the stick rebounds from the accent in the first place. The fourth variation is arguably the funkiest of them all. Now that's funky. You can hear a similar sticking, but with variations and alterations in many classic funky tunes. Now, all of these work on the right cymbal as well. And that actually frees up our hi-hat. And now we can play the quarter note with the left foot. Let's hear all of them with the now added left foot. Take your time. Get used to how each variation sounds and feels. Try to remain relaxed and don't rush into faster tempos. Make a groove first and then raise the tempo. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this and found it useful. A sub would be nice, and the like, it costs nothing. Also, you can check out some of my other videos as well. Thanks for watching, bye. See ya.